you wanted the best, you've got the best podcast. The hottest podcast in the world. The Chris Voss Show, the preeminent podcast with guests so smart you may experience serious brain bleed. The CEOs, authors, thought leaders, visionaries, and motivators. Get ready. Strap yourself in. Keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the vehicle at all times, because you're about to go on a monster education roller coaster with your brain. Now, here's your host, Chris Voss.
I'm Chris Voss here from thechrisvossshow.com. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the big show. We certainly appreciate you guys being with us. As always, for 16 years and over 2,000 episodes, the Chris Voss Show is brought to you live. I don't know what the hell that means. It just sounded kind of fun to say. I am in my 6th day of COVID, I'll let you know. So if the voice sounds off you're used to hearing, I'm still here. I'm still alive. Damn it. We're not giving up. We're not giving in to COVID, and that's just it. So those are the only jokes I have about that. That's not even funny, Chris. Maybe it's not. Anyway, guys, go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, LinkedIn.com/Chris Voss, Chris Voss1, the TikTokity, and Chris Voss, Facebook.com, and you can see all the wonderful stuff we're up to. Today we have Andy Paige on the show with us today. She is Pearl on ABC's General Hospital, spokesman for GH ShopHomeandHeart.com, QVC guest host, beauty and style expert on national TV and radio for over 25 years, and now she reaches the pinnacle of career. She's on the Chris Voss Show. Welcome to the show, Andy. How are you?
I'm well, and after my episode, I'm expecting you to include soap stars to that amazing list of people that you can expect to experience on the Chris Voss Show.
We should have more soap stars on. We've been trying to get more Hollywood on, so we should probably get more soap stars. In fact, one of these days, I need to get invited on General Hospital as the leading man, I think. I've got the chops.
I can help you make that happen, and I can totally see it. I mean, the voice alone.
I'm still trying to get on Dallas, so. That
ship may have sailed, kind sir. However, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if you know this, but do you know who my co-star is on General Hospital?
JR? No, I'm just kidding.
Nope. Get ready. I think he's passed, but I am actually co-starring with Morgan Fairchild.
Oh, Morgan Fairchild.
Yeah.
Talk about a voice. He's got a hell of a voice.
I mean, and let me tell you, she is amazing. I can't believe she's still acting and memorizing her life. I mean, she's almost 80. She looks incredible.
Wow. And she's doing better than I am from the looks of it. You've been on over 200 episodes of TV, thousands of weekly radio programs, best-selling book in 3 languages, inventor of the Girly Go Garter. I'm wearing one of those now.
I love that.
Spokesman and QVC guest host. I got one in hot pink. And Perfect. The style expert, wife, bonus mom, and carbon farmer. What is a bonus mom?
You know, I am fortunate that my second husband came with 3 amazing girls. When I say bonus mom, I mean, you know, the evil stepmother thing is kind of not me. I'm in there. I'm in the trenches. I change diapers. So bonus mom is just a little sweeter way to put it.
Maybe you can play an evil mom on the next soap or whatever you get involved with.
I cannot wait to be a nemesis. I am looking forward to that day.
Wow. Coming up soon from Amazon, Evil Mom, starring Andy Paige. So, Andy, give us your .coms. Where do you want people to find you on the interwebs?
Yeah, so of course you can go to andypage.com. Girly Go Garter is my invention, and I invented it as a mic pack holder for television and film, but it is a hands-free purse you wear on your leg, and it will hold all the stuffs when you don't want to carry a handbag. And then, you know, shophomeandheart.com is why I'm doing this whole kind of media tour, because it is the latest innovation in advertising, marketing, and television. So shophomeandheart.com is where you can find everything that you see on General Hospital that's now for sale.
So is it like merchandising for General Hospital? Is it, you know?
Okay, you and I'm supposing we're around the same age. I'm in my 50s, and yes. Perhaps we are not. Perhaps you prematurely gray. But we grew up in a time where, you know, every hour of television had anywhere from 10 to 14 minutes of advertising. And, you know, even though it was like a bit of a bore, the advertisements ultimately paid for what we were watching. So that's great. This is not how we watch television anymore. Now people stream and they do their best to avoid ads. So legacy shows like General Hospital have had to be creative with how they can sustain themselves. Deception Beauty is a 20-year-old storyline that has existed in General Hospital. And so the powers that be got together and said, okay, what if everything that we have created, in quotes, within deception became reality for our friends and consumers? And that's exactly what they've done. Home and Heart is the fake shopping network within, General Hospital, and Deception Beauty brings all of their products to Home and Heart to sell on General Hospital, and now you can buy them and bring them home. Like The Deceptor. Yeah, I mean, it's actually genius because we want shows like this to stick around, and millions of people still watch it. I mean, Chris, it has been on for 61 years.
Yeah. My grandmother.
It's the longest running show in television history. It's crazy.
Yeah, and you're holding up well, being on it from the very beginning.
Oh, thank you. I do try. I use my.
Did you say we're in our 50s?
Yeah, I'm 54. So
I'm 56.
Yeah, so we were born in a but think about it. What if, Chris, you could have bought Fonzie's leather jacket?
Oh, geez, wow, yeah, that would have been awesome. Hey,
right? Or we could have bought Rachel and Monica's hair solutions because their hairs always look so good.
Oh,
or
yeah.
So
that would have
when you
sold
think
like
about
hotcakes.
Totally. So when you think about the shows that we watch, the characters that we love, and the things that we would naturally be trying to support them with, this is just another evolution of television, advertising, and media.
As the newest sort of thing out from General Hospital, they're 60, but they're not that old, damn it, and they're willing to try new things.
Let me just tell you, Chris, so here's going to be a throwback. So everyone knows Luke and Laura, but did you know that Liz Taylor was on General Hospital?
I believe. I think I kind of know that. It used to come on during the day, and my mom was a stay-at-home mom, so the soaps would be on and all that stuff. I think I'd see some of it when I was cruising around.
I got news for you, honey. It's still on every single day. Every single day.
Wow.
Every single day. So you can watch it on ABC or you can stream it.
I always want to be one of those debonair gents on the soaps. I don't know the names of the dudes, but I've always seen they're good looking guys, and of course they're the men the women usually love and hate, which pretty much describes my dating life.
Scoundrel, I believe, is the appropriate term.
I've been called that on first dates. That's what I'm perfecting. So, what are the hottest beauty trends out there going on?
The thing that I love to talk about is, I'm all about, first of all, you should know I want to live to be 100. So I'm doing everything humanly possible. I'm determined to be a centenarian. So in living to be 100, I want to be vibrant and I still want to have on my lashes and my nails and all that stuff. But one of the things that isn't invasive, because, I'm sure, women are injecting their face with all kinds of things to, keep them younger. But one of the things that's not invasive is something called red light therapy. And red light therapy, penetrates a couple of layers of your skin, and it actually helps sustain your collagen and all that stuff. So this is the latest innovation. And Deception Beauty on General Hospital created a red light therapy wand called the Deceptor, which you can now buy. And I love it. I've been doing red light therapy for years. And so the fact that you can bring it home in a General Hospital version is fantastic. So that's one of the latest and the greatest that I'm really proud to be a part of. But yeah.
I like it. I see it here on the website at the shop homeandheart.com. And it's like a handheld red light one.
Yeah, I've got one actually right here. So it's really small. And you could engage in this. Let me just tell you, it would help you with fine lines and wrinkles, you scoundrel, you.
Aren't those my character lines, as they say in Hollywood? My character.
It's a little unfair because, men get to age so beautifully and women are expected to stay forever young. But so red light therapy really does work. But the thing that I love about this one is you can use it on all your body parts. So you can use it on your neck and your knees. Did you know that we get wrinkles on our knees as we age, Chris?
Wow. I don't know. I never looked down that far. I don't think I can see over my belly. Fat jokes, people. But no, I've been using red light therapy for years as well. There's a few devices we have here at the house. Someone sent me a really cool one that's waterproof, and so that you can wear it in the jacuzzi and stuff like that. But it is amazing how it heals. It's been, if I have gut pain or problems or different things going on, maybe I did the Taco Bell buffet there the night before. We've all been there, right? The Taco Bell buffet line.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The next morning you're in that fetal position going, what? They're not a sponsor anymore? Who saw that coming? Anyway, but yeah, the red light therapy is really amazing. I mean, it is healing, and it's really just kind of the power of the sun, I think, isn't it, really? Maybe?
To a certain extent, yes. Yeah. To a certain extent, there are different therapeutic properties to all. There's a blue light therapy. There's orange. There's several. Red specifically helps with collagen, and it helps with elasticity and resilience. So.
And collagen's really important for skin health, tissue, I think bone, and everything else, right?
All of the above. I love that you know about red light therapy. I have to say, I've been doing lots of podcasts. You were the first one to come at me with, I know what it is and I use it. I love that.
We're the only cool podcast. That's why.
It's true. I'm believing the hype.
So the red light collagen, one of the problems with collagen, as I understand it, you may know more than I do because you're the professional, is over time, when we're young, we're getting all this collagen, I guess. And that's why we have these great bones and, we grow from these babies. And some people are still babies. I've seen them on Facebook and X. But evidently, as we age, we lose the collagen there, eh? Is that true?
That's right. And that's what ultimately causes us to wrinkle.
And become non.
Well, no, I don't think that wrinkles are ugly. No. But I will tell you, I talk to a lot of people about, that we are all youth obsessed. And it's not really that we're youth obsessed as much as it is, or at least for me. And this is my stance. Let's put it this way. I want to always give the appearance that I am eager, I am willing, I am open, I am, fresh and excited about the possibilities. And one of the best ways to reflect that is to show that you're trying. So I'm always trying to, put my best foot forward, to ultimately show up, looking my best. And, red light therapy, having good skin, all of that stuff is a way for you to hold on to your youth, which sends a subliminal message of you being relevant.
Yeah. I just walk around on dates and stuff and just be waving, and they're like, what are you doing? I'm preserving my beauty with collagen. You want to know more? Come in a second.
Here's what I want to know more about your dating life. Tell me about these people you are dating, Chris.
They're wonderful. I date all the best. But no, I'm 50. What am I? How old am I? 56. I have COVID, people. 6 day brain.
COVID brain. So are you a single man? Do I need to find you do I need to find you? I need to find you a match.
Yeah, if you have any hot actresses on the show that are single and available. No, I'm single, and I have big meetup dating groups and Facebook dating groups, and so we're trying to circumvent dating apps because they suck, and so we have these huge meetups in person where we have 100 to 200 singles go, and they meet in the old-fashioned way, like at the clubs, basically. But not at the clubs.
No, I love this. You should know that this is like my 7th business. I actually run a business called the Dating Lab with the Hillbilly Yenta, and I'm the Hillbilly Yenta.
That's right. We want to get a plug-in for that podcast as well.
Yeah. Well, I'm all about modern dating and what's going on. So I love the fact to hear that you are single, and I cannot wait to get started on finding you a match.
I would hope you would, because it's 54 and I've been single all my life. It's probably about time, I think.
You said you were 56. Is it 56 or 54? I'm 54.
You're 54.
You're 56, COVID brain.
I'm 56, COVID brain. I don't know.
I was born in 70.
Yep, 68. So, yeah.
When's your birthday?
It's January. Let's put it that way. I don't want to put the date across the internet because I don't want people. There's already enough people that have my identity that are hackers, I think, at this point. Maybe it doesn't really matter. I don't know.
But, so you're going to be 57 soon.
I'll be 57, in January. So what do you guys talk about there on the podcast? What's kind of the general rundown there? I
am in this huge exploration of modern dating. We're talking about ghosting. We're talking about
Does your husband
flirting.
know about this? I'm sorry to interrupt you, Andy. I had to get that joke in there.
No, he does know about it, and that's my husband actually gave me the name, the Hillbilly Yenta, because I am, I'm from Alabama, and he's half Jewish, And, he's a Yankee, and you are insane. You are literally a hillbilly yenta. And so that's how I actually got the name. But modern dating is, there are so many issues. And my podcast is just about an exploration of flirting and femininity and masculinity and roles. And like I said, ghosting and, how do we couple up? And really, I have 3 bonus kids, right? So
yeah.
I'm telling you, the world is a scary place for them. I have got the most amazing 22-year-old, bonus daughter in my life who can't even get a guy to show up on a date. She has She has graduated from school, has a great job. Her first job right out of school. She's making over $100,000 a year. She's doing really well. And gorgeous, blonde, beautiful. And she has literally been in New York City dating for the past 3 months, and she's been stood up twice. Twice!
Wow. Hey, that just kills me as to guys standing up women. In my experience, ghosting has been around probably pre-dating, but I was being ghosted in the 80s and the 90s, and I'm being ghosted now. That's why the reason I'm still single. I haven't ever had a day. I'm always ghosted. But no, ghosting's been around forever, and it's I think in the 20s it's really hard right now. The apps are still going well for the 20-year-olds, from what I can tell. But yeah, if you ever want someone on your podcast who knows dating really well, I'm like a historian. So
I'm excited to know you're single, because the problem in my life is I have got amazing women in my life who cannot find a dude.
Really? Yeah, it seems like what the coaching and advice that I give to women and men in our groups, we have thousands of people, is what is the coaching advice for the COVID brain, Mr. Voss, today? I segued one too many times and lost myself. It's that simple this morning. But one of the things I tell people is, or one of the biggest complaints I get is they can't find men that are masculine. And sometimes there's a polarity issue, like women are really stuck in their masculine because they're single moms and stuff. And so they have a hard time getting out of it. So you end up on dates with somebody and you're just like, I'm a very masculine dude and you're a very masculine woman. And this is 2 dudes having a conversation. So this isn't going to work. This is going to work out.
It's a good point. My philosophy about that is I think that women tend to forget that femininity is the most powerful thing in the universe.
It is.
It is. It moves mountains. It starts wars. It's like everything.
Woman can
femininity.
Move the world with a look.
Yeah, that's right. So we tend to think that femininity means weakness, and femininity does not mean weakness. So embracing your femininity, and it also, there's a big difference in femininity and sexuality, from really re-educating on femininity is kind of another one of my missions through my podcast.
Please write a book, for the love of God. There's so many women that they've been it for so long they can't get back, and it's really hard right now. Like it's a lost art. I've been in so many first dates where I'm just sitting with another dude, and there seems to be, sadly, a lot of deception that's been given towards women. That's told women that, hey, act like a dude, get dude stuff like careers and money and assets and stuff, and that's attractive to men because women find that attractive in men, so men must find attractive women. And it's not. We really don't care. We want somebody who's nurturing and stuff. I was lucky. My grandmother was one of the most feminine women I've ever known. She was a powerful matriarch, but I hate using that word powerful because people think, it's power and aggressive as feminine, and it's not. I mean, she didn't have to tell you not to fuck with her. You just didn't fuck with her because she loved you, but she'd be stern with you and she'd make you anything you wanted. She was soft as peaches and just loving, caring, nurturing. But, she still had her power, but she didn't wield it running around, like men do, I guess, technically.
Okay, so I have the best story. I love that you love your grandmother. You should know that my grandmother is still alive.
Congratulations.
She is 98 years old. I talk to her every Monday. So my grandmother is still alive, and she had a huge hand in raising me. And my grandmother always used to say that your papa is the head of this household, but I, my dear, am the neck. And where the neck turns, the head will go. And so that's what she always taught me, that of course your papa is the head of this household. Of course he is the leader of our home, but I'm the neck. So I've always believed that.
it's a team effort, and I think that's what a lot of people don't get. They just like, oh, I don't need this other person, and it's so important. So yeah, femininity needs to come back in the truest form of what it really is, because I think everyone's just acting like dudes, pretty much.
So tell me what femininity looks like to you. I want to know.
Femininity looks like nurturing. It's softness. It's caring. It's subtle. It's non-aggressive. It's non-belligerent. It's, men are designed to be disagreeable, and there's a lot we could spend a whole Robert Greene book, Human Nature, sort of rundown on history. But we're designed to be aggressive and non-agreeable. We're designed to fight with each other, and we're given the body strength to do it, and that's how we, can do what we do. Femininity is designed not to be aggressive. And it's designed to be soft, nurturing, loving, kind. It's no one wants to give the baby when you're in the caveman tribe to, I don't know, the person with all the calluses and, I don't know, farts a lot or something. I don't know. You don't want to give it to the guys. We're busy killing things and hunting. And women are designed to, be that bridge between men that are kind of disconnected because we have to be, and emotionally, because we got to go out and do stuff and provide and deal with the realities of the world. And women are good at nurturing and loving and raising that kindness, that children need from that baby stage. So
I love it. I have to agree with so much of what you said. I definitely believe that women can be multifaceted, that we can be, feminine and also powerful. But one of the ways we do that is, it's not that we're being disagreeable, but we can certainly offer, women tend to think that the only way that they're going to be heard is if they are loud and aggressive. And that is not the case. As a matter of fact, I teach women, because I have a whole style business where I, basically can come and up level your presence and your appearance so that, you're ready to up level in business or anything like that. And I teach women that, femininity, again, is powerful, and you don't have to look like a man, act like a man to get ahead. The truth is, the more unique that you are and the more grounded in all of the gifts that you have, the more your perspective is needed, wanted, and valued, because, the workforce and business is really looking for, diverse ideas, and women certainly bring a whole different perspective. And we are 50% of the consumer base. So we are no longer, we don't have to fight for a position. We don't have to, be obnoxious. We ultimately need to be more of ourselves so that our opinion is taken with validity.
Yeah, it's power. There is power behind femininity, but it's a real subtle power. A woman doesn't have to really say much. I'll look and change the world, and everybody jumps. It's women are kind of indirect communicators, where men are very overt. Women are more covert, so they're more subtle in their negotiation and what they want and how they want to achieve it. And if you don't listen to that subtleness, you will eventually find out that she'll be overt about it.
That's true. Yeah. I would give you that as someone who, I don't wield, kind of my stick very often, but when I'm pushed, I can do that. But I do really respect your opinion, and I do think that we are very like-minded in this. And I'm trying to teach my girls and their friends about the power of femininity, because it's just lost. And you say write a book. I started a book about 10 years ago. The name of the book was called From Pigtails to Porn Stars: The Lost Art of Femininity. And From Pigtails to Porn Stars: The Lost Art of Femininity. And so, because I just believe that it kind of hit me when I had a goddaughter who was, 3 years old and standing on the bed after taking a nap and singing, "I'm not Britney Spears." And I was like, "You're 3. What is all this? 3, you know what I mean?" Yeah. So she was singing this Britney Spears song to me, and this was like, I was like, holy hootie, like, this is bananas. And then, I had the benefit of raising 3 amazing daughters who were subject to all kinds of sexuality. So I do believe that femininity has been surpassed by sexuality, and that's ultimately what I kind of wanted to talk about. But we are peas in a pod on this, I'm sure.
Yeah, I've had women coming to me up to my events and be like, "I'm just like you, Chris. I'm really successful and I have my own business and I've got 3 cars that are Mercedes and I've got yada yada yada." And they'll run down literally the list of what a woman looks for in a man as their attraction of why I should be attracted to them. And they're literally selling it to me that way, which is very manlike, right? If you've ever been on a date with a guy, he tells you how much he makes and he's trying to woo you with some of his, got this car and this house in Miami or whatever. And so to have a woman do that to you, you just sit there looking at her going, nothing you said has any interest to any dude. My dick is in the car waiting to go home. It's left. I don't know. That's a joke I do. But you'll just sit there and just be like, there's a lot of first dates I've been on, coffee dates, and you'll sit there and you'll just go, she's really cool, but I'm talking to another dude. I want to go fishing with you and hang out, but I have no interest in going anywhere with you after that. Why don't we circle back? How did you get on ABC's General Hospital? Tell us a little bit about your history and how'd you become an actress, get into it, what drew you to it, et cetera, maybe from your childhood growing up.
So, Chris, again, I'm 54. This is my very first acting gig.
Really? Wow.
Really.
Wow.
So I'm really fortunate. I've been in television, but I've done reality television. So I was always kind of playing myself and being myself and instructing and kind of teaching in television. And how I came to this show is really, I think, a great example for your listeners because, you don't eat the fruit from the seeds that you plant today. You plant the seeds and the fruit will bear itself over time. 20 years ago, I did this amazing show called Starting Over. I did 3 years of that show and I was the beauty and style expert, hundreds of episodes. It was fantastic. And I worked with over 35 producers on that show. And when the time came for them to have a shopping host, a home shopping host who, looked very different than Morgan Fairchild and was darker and a little spicy. One of the producers that I worked with 20 years ago had found on LinkedIn that I was now a QVC host. And she knew that I was going to be on time. I was going to be engaged. I was going to be prepared. I was going to show up as my best self. I was going to make every situation better and not worse. And that I was going to, improve a scenario and not make things harder on people. And so when the time came for this role, this producer who I worked with many years ago reached out to me and it happened within 24 hours. I literally got the call. She sent me a text and she's like, "Hey, do you remember me?" I'm like, "Oh my gosh, how are you? This is fantastic. Of course, I'm happy to talk to you." I talked to her on a Friday and I was offered the job on a Monday.
Wow. What Monday was this? Because I think I was applying for the same job and you beat me out on it.
You should know there were very few applicants. So it is a very good lesson, though. And when I talked to her, she's, "Of course, I remembered you." And I tell you the things that she said to me. She's, I know that you're going to show up. I know that you're going to try your hardest. I know we can depend on you." And I mean, the scary thing is she goes, "That's really important." And we don't see a lot of it. So I think that that's something that your listeners need to hear. I, of course, teach it to my daughters that, you just want to show up and do your best at everything because all work has value. So no matter what the project is, if you can give your best and you're always showing up, prepared on time, all those things, then you never know where that's going to lead. And this is a perfect example of that. So this is literally my first acting job. I'm what's known as an under 5, which means I'll probably for the foreseeable future have under 5 lines because that is actually a pay bump. After 5 lines, you get like a pay bump.
Oh, serious?
Yeah. So I'm an under 5, which is totally fine, which means I got to sell you an under 5. But I'm thrilled to have it. And I'm also just thrilled to be a part of this innovation. Again, this is a huge experiment. And if it goes well with ABC and General Hospital, I think, like I said, the items that we see in all the shows that we know and love are then going to become available to consumers and fans.
Wow. It turns out I'm getting ripped off. I've been doing more than 5 lines on the show for 16 years, and I haven't got paid extra for shit.
Yeah, you need to reach out to SAG or AFTRA, like Stat.
Hey, get the management in here. I want to double my pay to $10 a show. All right, there. That'll fix it. And we got Caroline coming in from the YouTube there. Great. I saw you earlier this day. Greetings from Germany.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, hi, Caroline. Yes, I did Caroline's podcast earlier today.
Thanks, Caroline. And Spicy, Scott says from LinkedIn, whatever that means.
I don't know. I'll take it.
Yeah, that Morgan Fairchild. I've had a crush on her since I was young. I think she was
too.
up on my wall with Farrah Fawcett. Remember that?
Oh yeah. I mean, and she is captivating. And another woman that I've always been captivated with, and reminds me of the same, is Dolly Parton.
Oh, Dolly.
But yeah,
she ruined me at 11, and I've never done the same since.
There's like about 5 or 6 iconic women of our generation that just, the minute that you say just one word, like Morgan Fairchild, like you just know, you just think elegance and stature and beauty and dominance, and at the same time, just a different kind of feminine power. I'm totally with you. And Farrah Fawcett was another one, highly but like hyper feminine as well.
Is Morgan Fairchild still single? Maybe you can hook me up on the show. Let's see, 74. What is that?
I have to be honest with you. I know she lives in the Northeast. Okay, so she's closer to me in New York than she is in you. Yeah, and believe it or not, like she is still working. She does local theater. She's very much active.
Hey, you know what? Set me on a date with her on a ghoster. That'd be kind of funny. Maybe that could be. We're
gonna do that to a woman.
That could be like a punk show. Like, who the hell would? I don't. Kind of rounding back to that I wanted to have a say about was, I just don't understand why guys would ghost a woman. I have no idea. It's so hard to get a date. It's so hard to find good dates out there. With the fact that you would ghost a woman, it's just insane to me. Like, what's?
I think it's a loss of confidence. I do have a theory, and I don't know if it's real, but I will tell you what I'm thinking.
Sure.
So I'm thinking that there's a whole generation, especially for like my 22-year-old, there's a whole generation of, young men who have really spent their life on some sort of game in a virtual world. And they're much more comfortable in a virtual world than they are a real world. So it's great to, talk and to interact. But then when you have to pull them into reality, I'm not quite sure that they are comfortable, know how to act, what to do, what to say, like all of it.
I think too, in addition to that, I think that the texting can be so faked. I mean, now you can actually have AI write your text. I think one of the dating apps has an automatic AI text writer. So
Response,
you can sound like, Suave, Shakespeare.
Rico Suave
on the texting there. But when she meets you, she's going to be like, "This is some dude who's 56 years old and he's never been married. He's a loser.
Yeah,
you can't talk your talk or walk your walk."
So you have to figure that those people that are ghosting have somehow presented themselves inauthentically and are a little worried about the reality of it all.
Yeah. You should greet ghosting like, okay, cool. You took yourself out of the thing.
Yes. But let me just tell you the other things. In my daughter's experience, she did have a guy that did show up and was highly eager, shall we say. And then from that date on, he, asked for another date and then was incessantly texting her for 5 days post date to the point where she was like, okay, I can't go out with him again because he's not getting it. And so she said, I don't know what to do. Like, I want to just block him. And I was like, do not do that. Have the courage to say to him, I am grateful for the enthusiasm that you have shown around our relationship, but it has made me uncomfortable and this is not how I like to communicate. Yeah. So I don't think that I can continue, but I just want to make you aware that I've tried to send you several signals. I'm not sure that you picked up on them. So maybe in the future, you want to be a little more receptive or perceptive about what someone's trying to say. So my point in telling her that was that I don't think you should exit without leaving an understanding of why, because we all have got to learn through this process. And so I just think that you've got to have the courage to be honest.
I love that. There's times where I've had women be honest about dating me, wherever you are in the process. To me, I just always think of it as it's not rejection. We really need to change that word in discussions that I've had with my singles group. It's not really rejection when someone says you're not quite for them. A lot of people make quick judgments. Sometimes they're not very accurate. I mean, I've had numerous women that have made quick judgments on me and then come back later. They see what I'm posting online or some of the content I make. Or sometimes they're just like, maybe that Chris wasn't that bad. He smelled bad, but other than that, he's not that bad. He's really cool. But, and sometimes they'll wander back, but it's not very masculine to be needy, and I think a lot of men don't understand masculinity nowadays. We can start bashing masculinity now, and that sort of obsession. A woman goes, "Hey, he's put me on a pedestal. He's being very emotionally needy." And it's not very masculine, and a lot of guys don't get that. It's really, but I'm glad that she's being really honest and direct, because I've liked it when women are direct with me. Hey, Chris, I don't think we're quite a fit, because I have some different things going on. You do, and I teach my people in coaching for dating is not everyone's a fit for you. A very small percentage of people are going to be your person, sort of people, and just you can't expect that everyone's going to like you. I mean, not all jobs like you. What do? You walk around and, job rejects you, you throw a hissy fit, and you're like, oh my God, I'm so crushed. It's no, you go apply to another job. And it's so funny how people will do that with dating. If they don't find some product at a store, then they go to another store. They're so resilient in so many different ways in their life. But then when it comes to dating, they're like, oh my God, I can't handle.
Yeah, it's different because you question why. That's why being direct is so helpful, because it at least allows you to check so many things off, right? It's not that I didn't use deodorant that day, or my breath smelled, or they didn't like my hair or whatever. So it is helpful to be a little more honest. But there's a few things that I want to add to that. You talk about finding your person. Some of the best advice that I ever got was that a third of the people on this planet are going to love you, a third of the people on this planet are going to hate you, and a third of the people on this planet are not going to give two craps that you're on this planet at all. So the more time that you spend on the 2/3 that either don't care or hate you, the less happy you'll be. So just focus on your third and cultivating your tribe, and you are going to be much happier. And a third is a lot.
I wish somebody told me that earlier, because I've been operating off the percentage of make 100% of people hate you. And trolls are the best thing to validate you and give you attention, because regardless, we've been on YouTube for 20 years or 16 years, something like that. I think 20 years. The trolls are what keep us warm at night. Waking up to just hateful comments, you just look at them and go, oh, they care.
That's true. That is a reflection of them caring, for sure. It is
deep
true.
Hatred.
But
there's work that goes into that.
There's one other thing that I wanted to tell you. I mean, I was fortunate enough that God made me tall at a very young age. If I had not been made, almost 6 feet tall by the time I was 10 years old, I would have been the best checker at the Piggly Wiggly in Chickasaw, Alabama. Let me just tell you. I'm very fortunate. And to that end, starting off my life, I'm a high school dropout from a very small town in Alabama. I got my GED and got into college when I moved to New York. But, starting out my life in a very competitive field where I was expected to hear no all the time, every day. My agent set my little 17-year-old hillbilly ass aside and said, okay, look, here's a chart. And you figure you're going to get about 10% of, the jobs that you go after. So if you figure every time you get a no, you can check that off, and you're getting closer to your job that was meant for you, then those no's are not negative, rejection. Those no's are stepping stones. And it's what it's going to take to get you closer to the job. So you cannot look at rejection as if they didn't like you. You just have to know that is getting you closer to your next gig. And that is how I have looked at, and don't get me wrong, I hate the word no. It's like my least favorite word. But I also know that no is not especially rejection. It is protection in many ways. And it's just getting me closer to what's right for me.
Yeah, you have to find that person who's the simpatico, that person for you. And I've been saying that since the 90s, because I come up from sales. So sales works that way. If every no is one step closer to a yes, is what they teach you. And so basically I just walk down a line of women I meet on the street, and I just go, you want to go out? You want to go out? You want to go out? And they all go, no, get away from me. I'm going to kill you. I'm calling the police and stuff. And then maybe someone will say yes, and then they'll ghost me later once I get their number. That's usually how it goes.
I'm going to literally try to help you find a girl, like a fabulous woman. It's going to be my new mission.
Oh, so what else? I noticed there's some other products here on the website. Is there anything more we want to feature on top of the red light?
Yeah, of course. We are coming out with the Deceiver Serum. Do you know a lot about serums? I know you know a lot about red light therapy. So do you know about what serums? I said serum.
I don't know what that means. We're just doing the jokes here, people.
So serums are, they've been around for about a decade now, but you put them on your skin and they are they penetrate better than other forms of lotions and potions and moisturizers. So there's a new Deceiver serum that's coming out. They have been working with the makeup artists who've won Emmys and are just incredible makeup artists on General Hospital to help create the Deception cosmetic line. And so there are new blushes and lipsticks and all kinds of things coming out, which is great. What you find on the website right now are things like handbags that you've seen your favorite characters wear, or maybe jewelry that you've seen your favorite characters wear. And as more things are basically, passed by legal, you will see more and more of things like that at shophomeandheart.com. That is an incredible, like I said, it's the ultimate platform for all of the things that you have loved and possibly seen on the show. They will be now for sale on this platform. But in addition to everything that I'm doing for General Hospital, of course, I've got the Girly Go Garter, my best-selling book, Style on a Shoestring. I've got my own podcast. You can see me on QVC selling you all kinds of wares. So there's lots of fun things that I try to stay involved in. I mean, if I'm going to live to be 100, I've got a lot I've got to get accomplished.
Your mom's 98. You got the DNA for it. So.
My grandmother is 98. My mom is 98. My mom is 79.
Oh wow! Yeah. See, my mother's side has great DNA, so I'm hoping I have a little bit of that DNA in me. At one point, I had 4 women. How would I say this? I would have 4 women in line alive at the same time. So I had my great-great-grandmother, my great-grandmother, my grandmother, and my mom. So I had all 4 alive at the same time. People were like, that is wild. And they were from West Virginia. There was a little bit of hillbilly going on there. I would go to their house. They still had those stills and the outside bathrooms and stuff. And it's crazy.
Wow. That's amazing. But they also got started very young. So that's why, my grandmother had her first child at 18, who had her first child at 18, who had her first child at 18. Wow. So that's how my grandmother has great grandchildren. And, so that's how things kind of happen. I'm not quite sure that my children will see their great grandchildren, but maybe I could hope.
Yeah.
If they live longer.
That's a lot of have children 18 gun to your head sort of generational pressure, right? You got to have kids.
Maybe a little.
Because everybody else did it. So.
I think it was just different. Alabama's just different. People just, they meet, they fall in love, and we just think that you're supposed to get married and start a family. That's how it's supposed to go.
That's kind of it's a biological.
I never had children myself. I left, right? So I left at 17, and that wasn't the path for me, but I'm still, very much connected to all of my friends and family back there who took that path. And I don't think it's a bad one. They're all extremely happy, and I have cousins in their 40s who have grandchildren. Yeah. Some of it's really lovely.
I did the same thing. I skipped the children thing. I really love sleep was my problem, and I like sleeping in, and so I just skipped the whole children thing. But what's nice is once I reached, like 28, 30, like everyone was starting to get divorced again. So I'm like, I just have a pop-up family wherever I go. I don't need any of my own. Mari still tries to call me about something, but I don't return his call.
I know so many people on their deathbed when they say, if I could have only had more sleep.
Yeah. That's usually what we're trying to get to on your deathbed is, can I finally get some sleep in here? I think that's where most parents are. For the love of God, let me die so I can finally get 8 hours. So do we want to plug the book anymore? Do we want to get any more on that?
My book is basically how to look like a million without spending a fortune, which is, it's a huge part of my mission. I am not especially a label girl. I, come from very humble beginnings, but yet as, a model and, spokesperson and someone on television, I was always expected to look a certain way, but that didn't mean that, I wanted to spend all my money on things like, a dress I wear once and, clothes that I don't wear all the time. So I trained myself on how to build a conscious wardrobe that would sustain me through anything and keep me at the height of fashion. So I teach people how to do that through my book. And, I just think that we need to be more conscious in a lot of the things that we do with regards to style and beauty. And the truth is, at our age, a lot of people just kind of give up. because they don't want to keep up with it. They don't want, the hassle. They don't think it's important. I mean, I have plenty of, women at my age who, think I'm nuts because I still, dye my hair and do my lashes. And I'm like, no, I'm not going down without a fight. I want, like I said, to always have a seat at the table and to look relevant, but if you can do it on a budget, then I think it makes it a little easier and palatable for most people. And so that's what my book teaches.
Oh yeah, you can't get too crazy with it. I've been espousing that how to look like $1 million without spending a lot of money, and it's not working. It doesn't work yet. But
I disagree. I think you look fantastic.
I'm working on a book right now called "Looking Great During Having COVID and Spending Most of Your Time in the Fetal Position and Then Getting in Front of a Camera."
I'm so sorry that you have had such a hard week.
You know what I have done though? I've lost weight. So turns out COVID is a great diet, intermittent fasting weight loss. Yeah,
like you lose your taste buds, right?
I didn't lose my taste buds, but you just don't want to eat. The only thing I've been eating is Dayquil and some penicillin, the crap they gave me for sinus infection. So yeah, it's been great for losing weight. As we round out, let's get a plug in here for the garter product that you have. Let's flush that out if you want.
So sweet. So the Girly Go Garter is a hands-free purse that you wear on your leg, and I invented it as a place to put my mic pack. But I had no idea that people could use it for their insulin pumps or medical devices, and that every girl going to prom, was told by their principal they can't bring a handbag, so they want to have their money, their ID, their lipstick, their cell phone. Every bride walking down the aisle can't lug a handbag, but she wants a tissue and her lip gloss. And I invented it. It's patented. It holds 19 patents. It's sold in like over 80 countries. And, I'm really, really fortunate, but it's just an example of, God kind of gives us all nuggets and ideas and inclinations, and you can just decide if you want to run with them or not. And I'm a runner. I believe if I've got like a little nugget of something, I'm going to try. So, yeah, the Girly Go Garter was a huge risk, and it's been great. We've been going for 12 years, and I'm really, really proud of it.
Because women like to, they don't like to be carrying a lot of stuff, but they carry a lot of stuff because, they're ready for everything. They're kind of like Girl Scouts. Be prepared. But, there's a lot you can, sometimes women will take out this, this if they go out on the town or if they go on a date, they'll bring just the small bag. And so I guess that makes probably a place to keep stuff safer. You don't have to worry about being stolen as well.
You got it.
I'm wearing 2 of them right now.
I love it. So that means there's no chafing.
I double up. There's no chafing, and I keep goodies in one. Candy bars and maybe a Coke, and then a can of Coke. But
a can of Coke. Wow.
Yeah, there's a whole can in there. I'm a big guy. And in the other one, I just have popcorn. It's kind of like when I go to the theater. I use them when I go to the theater too. It's great.
They're excellent confiscation devices for sure.
Yeah, you put the red vines in one, you got the popcorn in the other. The butter doesn't work out so well, folks. Don't get the butter popcorn.
I will tell you, I love to wear them to concerts because I can get in, when I can get in like a little flask if I want. So there are bennies. So you can use it because most of the time, your purse is rifled through. Like when I love Jazz Fest in New Orleans. I go to Jazz Fest every year, and I'm always in a sundress because it's hot as Hades. And yeah, I can get in, a little flask and a lipstick and everything, and I never have to worry about a purse. So there are lots of benefits. I'm happy to hear that you carry popcorn, red vines, and Coca-Cola.
Yeah, and back in the day, I used to run what I called cheaters that were flasks of liquor, hard liquor, into like events and stuff, and I put them in my sock. And back then, they really didn't want or check you, and so I'd end up with the hard liquor, and then I just order Cokes and then mix it. See,
genius.
So there's another thing you could do with the garter. You could just put the Cokes in there. You can just double down. And I highly recommend women do that. I was on a lovely date a couple weeks ago before I got sick and stuff. And she brought this giant tote, kind of like the Jordan suede tote that's on your guys' website.
Yes,
and that thing ended up being such a cock blocker to me in a way that when I was trying to make my moves to put my arm around her and hold her hand and stuff, I was always having to move around to wherever against that tote. So ladies, please bring a small bag on it.
Yeah, it's like having a stuffed animal in between you. I totally get that.
And she was great and wonderful. I think she just wanted to have everything with her. She was a mom. Moms got to have their mom stuff. But yeah, I was like trying to, do the moves and put your arm around her and hold hands.
Love it.
It was like, okay, I'm going to have to move you over here, or you're going to have to move that bag. She's like, I probably should have brought this bag, but she was wonderful. Maybe that's a sign she's a keeper. Maybe that's...
or maybe you just need to buy her a Girly Go Garter.
That's what I need to do. We know what we're up to on the second date. Andy, anything more we want to plug as we go out? You've got so much going on. You're kicking ass, taking names.
I appreciate that. I appreciate you giving me the platform, and I cannot tell you how excited I was to do your show. I have been a listener. I think I'm a fan. I think it's amazing what you do, and I'm really, really grateful that you would give me this platform, especially for General Hospital fans and all the people who love you. I know that I was kind of a stretch for you, so the fact that, you said yes, I was like, I can't believe it. I was really, really pleased. So you are just as charming and engaging and funny and awesome as your introduction explains.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the compliment. And so are you. It's been lovely to have you on the show as well. Just don't tell all the women all those great things you said about me, because you'll ruin my reputation. Scott says, Chris, ask Andy for a few tips on the dating process. I think we covered some of these. She has some great advice. Love her honesty. My pleasure. Great show, Chris. Certainly wonderful to have you on. Give us your .coms, Andy, as we go out so people can find you.
Certainly. You can find everything at shophomeandheart.com. I encourage you to follow me at shopwithpearl.gh on Instagram. You can find me at the Andy Paige on Instagram as well, or andypage.com.
Thank you very much for coming on the show, Andy. Thanks for our audience for tuning in. Go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, LinkedIn.com/Chris Voss, Chris Voss 1 the TikTok, and ChrisVossFacebook.com. Be good to each other. Stay safe. We'll see you next time.